Germany, and I want to just read something from a book. This is The Holocaust Timelines. I don't own the copyrights, but as I've been studying, don't mind my feet. There's some disturbing images up there. It's a pogrom. I don't really want to show it because it's very disturbing. All right, so what I want to discuss is the protocols in Germany. Protocols. It was a book, it was propaganda, it was a complete lie. So it's right here I'm reading. So this was the beginning of, it first appeared, the growth of anti-Semitism, 1881 to 1923. So it's going back, and here's a synagogue where they attacked their scrolls. Hey, Jean. So in the scrolls, the Protocols of the Elders of Zion first published in a Russian newspaper. So it was August 28th, 1903, okay? And then 1921 proved to be a forgery. What was the Protocols? Oh, my bad. I'll try to. Although the Protocols of the Elders of Zion was proved to be a forgery, millions of copies were sold. Millions of copies were sold. And in Germany alone, and it had effects. And in Germany alone, over 30 editions of the book appeared in the 1920 and 1930s. Hitler read the book and claimed it was not a forgery, but a true account of the danger represented by Jewish people and their way of life. The book encouraged anti-Semitic ideas and helped some people to think that Hitler was right in blaming Jews for the poor state of the country. Even today, the book is still published in some countries and used to support anti-Semitism. I don't know if I can show that photo. So there's victims up here of a Jewish pogrom in Russia, a country where such pogroms were common. And there's people lying on the floor. They're not alive. All right. So then let's go the Protocols of Elders of Zion. So this is the history of it. And then I'm going to go on to explain this, okay? So I never knew about this book. The Protocols of the Elders of Zion is a book about how a group of Jews elders are planning to take over the world. This is a false book. The book describes how these elders secretly meet to discuss how they will achieve control of the world and destroy the existing order of society. The whole book appeared in 1905, 2 years after parts of it were first published in a Russian newspaper, and translations into many languages made it well known around the world. So this is the impact. The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, however, was proved to be a complete forgery. Despite this, the book became enormously popular, and in Germany it became a way of explaining the country's defeat in World War I. Many people wanted to believe in the idea of a Jewish conspiracy because it fitted in with their prejudice against Jews. So it's propaganda. It's false. There were thousands of Jewish communities, especially in Eastern Europe, where Jews had lived for over 2,000 years and practiced their own religion, Judaism. So, Jewish Judaism. Christianity was not kind to Judaism, and Jews were persecuted through the ages as a minority group. Violent attacks known as pogroms were made on Jewish communities in Russia and France toward the end of the 19th century. Prejudice against Jews, called anti-Semitism, further developed in many European countries in the 1920s and in 1930s. In these decades, in Poland, Romania, Latvia, Lithuania, and Greece, laws discriminating against Jews were passed. In many European countries, it was not unusual to limit the number of Jews who could attend a university in university, so they couldn't college. It was limited. In Germany, Jews were accused of weakening the country, and then, it's a lie. And in 1920, a politician named Adolf Hitler said that no Jew should be a German citizen, and they were there for 2,000 years. Hitler was born in Austria, and he grew up in a climate of anti-Semitism, hearing extremist politicians warn of the Jewish peril. So this is a Jewish man examining damage done to Torah scrolls, sacred religious texts during pogroms in 1881. You see? And these were all handwritten. All these scrolls were handwritten because, this was passed down for centuries, since the beginning of time, before Jesus came. But Judaism, so they've been targeted for thousands of years, So this is the effect of the book. It was propaganda for for anti-Semitic ideas, but it's still published, you know. So it's just to show you that what we read is important and you have to watch, but this is a library book, you know what I'm saying? This is documented and these are actual photos of history. So it's important that we learn about our history, you know? But that's why Jewish people have their own religion. It's Judaism. And, you know, it was handed down to God to them. We're taught Christianity, and that was give because we couldn't understand Hebrew language. A lot of people don't speak Aramaic, and they can't understand the thing. So Jesus taught his disciples so they could teach us to be kind to us, you know. And that's why Jewish people have their own religion. It's called Judaism, but it was first given to God to the Jewish people. So the only reason we have what we have in the Bible is because the Jewish people, the rabbi, Jesus the rabbi, our Messiah, he sat down and taught his disciples. And then the disciples, hey Jean, how are you? And the disciples passed it down. And that's how we have, that's the only reason we have Christianity. It's we don't do all the celebrations like the Jewish people, but they hold on to traditions because it's always been trying to take away from them, you know. And that is, it was handed down to God to them. They are, you know, they are the chosen people of God, the Jewish people. But so that's what I just wanted to share with you. That's the protocols in Germany, and this is a true account. There's the timeline of some of this stuff. um, All right, so if you like this, give me a thumbs up, guys. I don't like that the people, you know, they were targeted, but I just wanted to share this, okay? So if this taught you anything, can you give me a thumbs up? It's Protocols of the Elders of Zion, first published. It's a false book, it's a forgery, and it's still published today. It's a propaganda for anti-Semitic ideas. And that's it. All right, so we can learn from history. Takes all of us in community together, but that's all I'll say about that. All right, guys, well, whatever you learn from this, or share your ideas if you can. Let's be respectful of one another, okay? All right, God bless you. Have a good day.